Record it. Remember that in Tai Chi, we are working with Chi, the life energy. And the reason why people go to acupuncture is because there's blocked Chi. Now, this is of Eastern medicine. So we're in the Western world. And so we have kind of been raised up a little bit differently. But you are open to it, obviously, because you're in Tai Chi class. But let's just say you have a neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, or maybe you even have allergies. You can go to acupuncture. They put needles in certain spots on your body and it unblocks the chi, allowing the energy to flow and allowing healing to happen. Now, when I go to acupuncture, they also pair in cupping, which is kind of like a hickey, where it pulls blood to the surface. And when that blood is pulled to the surface, the healing qualities of our blood allows that healing to speed up a little bit. It kind of, encourages that process to happen. And so acupuncture and Tai Chi go hand in hand because we deal with energy, and it's called Chi. And so that's our goal whenever we have open joints. This chair is messing up my feng shui. Um, the Lost my train of thought. Uh, I'll get it back. I'll get back there in just a second. But we're opening and closing our hands, getting our bodies warmed up, getting ready for our Tai Chi class. And so we start off with our stable stance, and that means our feet is about shoulder width apart. Our feet are here, and our knees have a slight bend to them, so I'm not locked knees standing straight up. I have that soft bend. I also have relaxed shoulders and good upright posture, so it's like a string that pulls up and down at the same time, just extending that spine. As I move through Tai Chi, I don't ever lock my elbows, and I keep some space in my armpit, and that allows that energy to flow. And so song is our open joints, and that's what we're going for, and that's my new exploration. That's my new obsession of our principles. And for a while it was gentle resistance, and now I want to learn about open joints. So let's start with our warm-up movements of our major joints, starting with our neck. We bring our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest. Push our hands away from us and then follow those hands all the way down. Now remember, we're giving this a try. Whenever we bring those hands up and pull them towards our chin and chest, we want to try this tucking our chin in, kind of like we're making a double chin for ourselves. We're not trying to have our picture made. We're not trying to have our best look. We're trying to engage our neck by tucking that chin in as we bring our hands towards our chin and chest. All right, so it's to me it's kind of an awkward feeling. So it's okay. Embrace the awkward, work through it, and keep giving it a try. And if you don't pair it in this moment with this stretch, do it another time. Sit down, breathe, and tuck your chin. All right, let me let Miss Linda in and mark her present. Our class is really growing. All right, so our other neck exercise starts out that same way. We're going to put our hand towards our hip and then follow this hand as we look towards that shoulder. Feeling that slight stretch in our neck as we go to the side. When we come back to the front and our hands pass, look at that. Look at my palms. My palms pass, and then I go and follow that hand to the side. I come back to the front. I'm intentionally making my hands pass and then following that hand to the side. Why do I do that? Acupuncture points in your hands. Many times our hands are passing each other or facing each other as we do Tai Chi, and it's for those acupuncture points for energy. Energy is the name of the game, y'all. If we're going to be alive, we want all the energy we can get, right?
Amen.
This one always feels so good. I hate to go to the next one, but here we go with our shoulders. Let's roll our shoulders forward, small circles. And then back, small circles. It's hard to stay small, but in Tai Chi, we don't do anything big or in a hurry. Everything is small. Do any of y'all use Spotify?
I don't.
Okay. Well,
No.
I don't know the rules of Spotify for if you don't have an account. I have an account, so I can't speak to it. But what I know is that our Tai Chi music is available on Spotify now. And I would play it for y'all if Zoom didn't block it out. But if you have a CD player and you are interested in our music, I have these CDs that I would be happy to mail to you if you'll just let me know. So we have our shoulder circles. Keeping that upright posture, even keeping our shoulders relaxed as we do this movement, which it's a challenge because I feel like when I raise my hands, I tend to grab tension. But keep those shoulders relaxed. One more. Let's have our ball. See, hands facing. We're going to separate the heavens and the earth. We're going to push one hand up and the other hand down. Notice soft bend in my arms. I'm not straightening my arms up or out. Back to my ball and switch. Now, if you have limitations in your shoulder, then this may be a difficult move for you. What I want you to do is do what you can do and envision that you're doing the whole move. I'm going to show y'all a trick that I learned when I was in training last week that sort of blew my mind. And it's wild to me of how much I've done Tai Chi and how I can still learn new things. So that's why I always encourage y'all to stay with this journey. And it's amazing as you journey through it, you're open to new things and new experiences, even with these same moves. So we're used to that movement right there. What I want you to do now is think about that part of that spine that we're stretching. It's in this area right here. What I want you to do is envision like a string, and you're pulling that string up. And when you're pulling that string up, I want you to think about your spine stretching. And then switch your hands and pull that string. Do you feel that stretch?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't, just humor me. No. That's what they showed us in our class. They were talking about the limited shoulder mobility of so many people, and that move is very challenging for some people. And so they said, try this where you pull that string and envision that spine stretch. Come and switch and pull that. My mind was blown. I'm like, wow, I thought I really had to stretch to get that spinal stretch. But look how powerful. Stretching that spine. So don't ever be discouraged by what you can't do yet. There's a modification and then the visualization. All right, other move for our spine involves us holding our ball, and we're going to go side to side, stopping just above our knee. It's just a small movement. We stay within our frame. Continuing to breathe. I caught myself holding my breath right there. Usually I tell y'all to breathe because I've caught myself not breathing myself. Back to center. Moving to our lower body, this is where it gets challenging. So make sure you have something stable nearby. It could be a wall. This table's not going anywhere. Now, there are some tables that may move. This one's not. You can have a chair. Just make sure it doesn't have wheels. You know, that it is a stable source for you. Or you can not use anything at all. But this is where we're shifting weight to one leg. And then we're going to move this other one. We're going to place our heel forward and our hands back. Pausing in the middle and then toe back like a kickstand. Hands forward. So when our foot is forward, our hands are back. And when our toe is back, our hands are forward. You see, it's very challenging of that one leg moving our weight. All right, let's switch legs, shifting to the other foot, heel forward, hands back. I try to keep it at 3 times. There's something magic about the number 3 in Tai Chi in this world. So things are typically done in multiples of 3, whether it be 3, 6, 9. Ooh, we just had a math lesson. Who does? Just never know what you're going to learn in Tai Chi class. It's about as good as my math gets, though, y'all. All right, now we're going to shift weight to the side. Tap the toe out. The hands go in the direction of the weight shift. And I want to show you a modification here that we learned in our class last week. And so I've always said kind of lining our hands up and push that in the direction of the weight shift and then turn and push those hands. But that may be a difficult position to be in for your hands. So what you can do is have the top hand that pushes out and the bottom hand down here under your elbow. So you're pushing like that so that you don't have to reach that arm out towards that one. So here, when you go to the side versus here. Just try it out and see which one feels better for you. I think I like this version where this hand is under my elbow and the other hand is out. And then another thing that goes along with our movement control principle of smooth. Watch this. So we go to the side and here's the scoop when instead of just switching our hands, try this, scoop. That kind of has a neat feeling. kind of
Different.
a scoop. They're both right. Don't feel like one is wrong and one is right. But sometimes we get an idea of how other people do these same moves, and we're like, "Ooh, I kind of like that." The scoop made it feel more smooth. What's the most important thing happening here is what's happening with our legs, because this is a hip joint warm-up stretch. And so the fact that we're shifting weight to one leg and tapping that toe out, that's what's most important. We can be holding on to our chair and doing nothing with our hands, but we want to weight shift to one leg, keeping our body upright, not leaning into that weight shift, and then tapping that toe out. But the hands, if you use your hands, go in the direction of the weight shift, tap, and notice I stopped right here at the edge of my body. I didn't continue to take my arms out because that's why I'm going towards falling. I'm going outside of my frame. I want to remain upright, shift the weight, and stop at the frame of my body. So shift and tap. And I'm practicing this scoop. I think it's so pretty. So the weight shift happens as I scoop. Boom. And you can maybe think about holding a wall as you tap that foot out. Hold that wall. And that helps you feel more stable too. Even if there's not really a wall there you're holding. Oh yeah, and don't forget to breathe. All of that. Now for our knees. Hands at our hips, and it's a loose fist. Like you're holding an egg you don't want to break. And good Lord, at prices of eggs these days, we don't want to break them, do we? Mm. All right, so we're going to shift our weight to one leg, lift, tap our toe out as we punch that opposite arm. Now that is a cross-lateral movement, and that's why it's a little difficult. It's working our brains to tap one side of our body and punch out the other side of our body. Shift the weight, lift, tap, and punch. I saw a post on Facebook that said something about how back in the day we had so much toilet paper and so much eggs, we went and threw it at people's houses and decorated their trees. I never did that, but I know it was done, but good Lord, you wouldn't do it now, would you?
No way. No way.
I lived in the country, so I think I was kind of removed from the trouble that happened in town. I probably could have found my way to town if I wanted to, couldn't I? This move does take some concentration as we hold that weight on that one leg and tap that other toe out.
Oh, God.
We get a lot of practice holding weight on one leg when we do Tai Chi. And that's what helps our muscles build as stabilizer muscles. We're less likely to fall when we're able to hold our weight on one leg. That sounds like big duh to me, but now we're shifting the weight forward, keeping both feet flat on the floor as we shift weight and punch the opposite hand. Also keeping our body upright. I'm not leaning into the punch or leaning towards that weight shift. Very dynamic move because we shift weight to the side, we shift weight to the front, we shift weight back, side by side, and we're punching cross lateral. Thinking about my principle of slow, smooth, and continuous with this movement, challenging myself to stay slow, stay smooth, continuous, upright posture, weight transfer. It's just like the perfect movement for Tai Chi principle.
What in the crap?
All right, now we have for our ankles. Shift your weight to one leg. And then, ma'am.
Oh, I had an intruder, sorry.
Oh no! We use that Tai Chi move just in a faster motion to really punch them.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Rocking that wrist. Bring that weight back. Heel toe. Heel toe. You know, we don't think about our ankles enough. And the fact that that movement right there took a lot of muscle strength. Now we're going big toe, little toe, or side to side. But we do realize that when our ankles are strong, then we're less likely to fall. When we're put into a situation where maybe there's an uneven ground, maybe we find ourselves kind of falling into a hole. Ankle strength will get you out of a bad situation. So simple movement like this, tapping side to side and tapping heel to toe, helps strengthen that muscle, helps stretch the muscles that surround that joint, and help them be strong to protect you. So give yourself a shake. Those are our warm-up stretches. Any questions about any of those for our head, neck, spine, head, neck, not our head, neck, shoulder, spine, hips, knees, and ankles? Any questions about those? Y'all good? I'm going to turn my music on. Y'all aren't going to be able to hear it, but it just sets the mood. And so that's what I will invite you to do if you have the music at your house, to just play the music while you do Tai Chi. And it just it brings a sense of calm to the environment and helps you with your pacing of slow when you do your Tai Chi. All right, so going to our basic 6 movements. I'm going to do them facing forward, mirror image, and I'll turn around and do it facing away from you and see if you find that helpful. So whenever we do commencement, it's a step forward. So it's a shift to the right, step left, shift left, then bring that right foot forward. The hands face each other the whole time. That's what I'm talking about with our acupuncture points in our hands. And they start out to our sides. They come up and away from our body. They come down. We pull them in towards our hips. They come up our body, out, and then we come back in, fingers facing forward, because our next is open and close, where it's simply open and close. So putting that together for commencement and open and close, we bring our hands up, down, shift right, place the left foot out, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Let me turn around so you can see that it may be helpful. Commencement, we bring our hands up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back. Open and close. Remember that when we place a foot, we don't immediately give it weight. That's called an empty step. So when we shift right, we place that left out there, but it gets no weight. All of our weight is on this right foot. But when we take our hands out at the same time, we shift left and then bring that right foot forward. So hand movement and weight shift often go together. And this is our first experience with that. So the first two moves, come in, up, down, shift right, place left, hands come in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close.
Okay. And will you text me the address again?
All right. So next we have single whip. We do single whip to the right and single whip to the left. We do it to the right first. To do it to the right, we're coming here from open and close. We shift left. We step our right foot out. Okay, hold on. Here's what it looks like. Okay, so we shift left, step right, adjust weight. So what I mean by adjust weight means we now have weight on both legs. Push those hands out away from us, turn our palms, and then separate. Our eyes follow the left hand, opposite of the foot that steps out. So when we do a single whip the opposite way, we'll do just the opposite. But the rule is whatever foot that steps out, you follow the opposite hand with your eyes and head. Okay? So coming from open and close, single whip right, shift left, step right, adjust weight, push our hands out and turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. From the back, it looks like this, to the right. Shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn and separate. Eyes follow that left hand. Putting it together, from the top, commence. Hands up, down, shift right, place left, hands come in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip, shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand.
Oh,
One thing you can try is that when I say adjust weight, so when you have placed that right foot out, it has no weight, but then you adjust weight to give that foot weight. You can try at that moment as you adjust the weight, push those hands out at that moment. So then that's another example of weight shift and hand movement. Okay? So let's give that a try from the top. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. See, that was nice. That felt good to shift weight forward and put hands forward. Same as whenever in commencement, when we shift left as those hands go out. So weight shift and hand movement happen at that same time. and that connects. And so that feels good. All right. Waving hands in clouds. These are the words of our waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift. We do 6. We do 6. I like to count the turns because it's the last thing that happens. If you count the steps, you got to turn in between, so it will throw you off. So I like to count turns. So here's what it is. Here, we ended with single whip. We're going to the right. We step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch,
Whoa.
turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, and back to the middle for open and close. I want you to take a second to be thankful you're not an octopus, because we only have 2 legs and 2 arms. So if we were an octopus, we would have 8 things to be moving. So just as it felt very complicated to do waving hands in clouds as a human, imagine what it would be for an octopus. So we get to do the easy version with only 4. So when we break down that movement, it is Tai Chi walking, and it is a step out. Remember, empty step. We don't immediately give it weight, but then we do, and then we follow step. So the follow step foot gets no weight immediately, and then it does. So that is Tai Chi walking. It's an empty step with a weight shift and an empty step.
So it's like I told him Friday.
Weight shift,
Step.
step,
With the word, he knows what he's doing to it.
Okay, he's been doing good with the spelling test, I better.
all right.
He's one better.
Okay.
Linda.
I had to guess where the sound was coming from. All right. So it's Tai Chi walking to the left or to the right. Step, empty, then weight shift. Follow step, empty, then weight shift. Step, empty, then shift. Follow step, empty, then shift. So practice that empty step as you practice Tai Chi walking to the right. And that's the footwork movement of waving hands in clouds. Now, I'm noticing things as my body is stepping. I'm noticing that I keep an upright posture. So my back has that string stretched. My shoulders are relaxed. And as I step, my knees keep that slight bend. So I have a kind of a slight squat to myself. That slight knee bend is good for mobility. If somebody bumps into you and you have a slight bend in your knee, then you can absorb impact. If you lock your joints, somebody runs into you, you're more likely to be knocked over. So keep that soft bend as you practice Tai Chi walking. So like I said, it's 6 turns or it's 6 steps, okay? So
Can you do that
1,
from 5?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A step is always followed by a turn. So when I step right, I turn right. So there's the rhythm of your waving hands in clouds movement. Step right, turn right. Step left, turn left. Step right, turn right, step left, turn left. Okay, so that's the rhythm. There's 6 steps, there's 6 turns. Now, just breaking out the upper body movement, here's what it looks like. We have one hand palm down at our hip. The other hand is across our body. I think of it like a sash, like you're the queen of something. And what we're going to do when we turn is the hand that's on top, which is the sash hand, we turn in that direction. So we turn. Then we drop that hand down to our hip, and the other hand comes up like a sash, and then we turn. Down, up, turn. Down, up, turn. Or switch, turn. Switch, turn. Switch, turn. Switch, turn. All right, let's smooth it out. A little less robotic. We smoothed it out. We're more continuous with our movement. As soon as we got there, we went here, and then we went here. We didn't chop it up. So chopping it up is what we do to learn it, and then we smooth it out. Slow, smooth, continuous. So I've been asked before, is my head moving? My head is moving because it's attached to my neck, and then my neck's attached to my body. So I'm not turning my head like this. I'm keeping my head straight, but because my body turns, my head goes with it. So you may be seeing or think you're seeing my head turn, but it's my body turning and my head just going along for the ride. So this is a torso movement. My hips are staying straight forward. So I'm not turning my hips. I'm turning my torso. And that's why it's important to stay within our frame. I stop here. That's the edge of my frame. Because if I start going any further, then it starts pulling that hip. It starts pulling that knee, and it changes the movement. So stay within that frame, and it keeps your hips forward and leaving it simply as a torso movement. So that's an important part of waving hands in clouds. All right, so let's give it a try. We have ended with single whip. Our weight's on both legs. Our eyes are looking at that left hand. We're going to bring that right hand down and that right foot back, and then step. There's our first word. Switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch. So break it down. Look at those words one at a time. Do one movement at the time. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. And then when we get to that sixth one, we come back to center for open and close. So when you're practicing it, don't worry about, am I on 5 or 6 or did I do 8? I mean, don't worry about that. Just get used to the rhythm of the movement. And if you can get used to the rhythm of the movement using those 4 words, then start worrying about how many you've done. But our goal is 6. Our goal is 6 steps 6 turns. And keep in mind that the helper that when I step right, I turn to the right. When I step left, I turn to the left. So that's that rhythm. Left, right, right, left, left. Okay. Any questions about waving hands and clouds? All right, let's practice from the top. My watch is being done. Got to keep track of our time. Here we go, from the top. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Nose itch wasn't part of that. Open and close. Hopefully that was a good experience. If not, that's why we practice. Let's do it again. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Open, close. All right, so now we're going to add on, and we have our single whip, waving hands and clouds to the left. So it's just like what we learned, it's just that way. We shift right, step out left, adjust, push, turn, separate. Eyes follow that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. Let's wave hands, clouds to the left. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Three, 4, 5, and 6. And to the center for open, close, close it out. That is our basic 6 movements. All right, again, commence. Close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. And close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds.
I'm doing.
It's overwhelming at first. Give yourself grace.
Oh, Lordy.
Know that there is no perfect Tai Chi. It's just where you are in the journey learning. Believe me, I've been doing Tai Chi for about 13 years and I still ain't got it perfect. But this right here, this little cheat sheet, like I said, 13 years I'm doing Tai Chi and I still put this cheat sheet right in front of me. Now, you know it's for me because y'all can't see it.
Steps.
Y'all see that one? But that's our words. Make yourself a cheat sheet. So you don't have to think, you don't have to use your brain. You can just read your words. Now, what those little words are, if you can't see, it says step empty. That's an empty step. That means we put our foot out there, but we don't give weight to it just yet. Switch, and then out beside it says change hands. Turn, which also says wave. It's called waving hands in clouds, but I don't leave it at wave. I use the word turn because it's not a wave. This is a wave. It's a turn. Your hand just goes along for the ride. And then shift, and then the little word says wait. So make yourself a cheat sheet. I mean, I know I have it in the background for your use, but I always have that right there in front of me. And so long now that sticky is just gradually wearing off. So that can be helpful to that you don't have to think what's next. You go, oh, okay, step. Okay, I got the step. Okay, switch my hands. And then here's what I'm talking about, the turn. I'm not moving my hands. Just like my what I was telling y'all about my head. Same thing with my hands. My body moves my hands. Then I switch them. My hands are just going along for the ride. Same thing with our spinal warm-up when we were holding our ball. We're not moving the ball. We're not moving the ball. Our body is moving the ball. We just hold the ball still. We move the body, and the ball goes along for the ride. So sometimes when you see something, you may think you're seeing something else, but it's not a wave, because that would be more of a wave. It's a turn. Your hands just go along for the ride. So that's why I use the word turn and not wave. All right, let's practice it one more time. Next week, we'll get back to our advanced 6. I just knew we have a brand new person. And, okay, let me make a note of that, Miss Linda. Or else, I'll forget.
I didn't hear the music. I do have a hearing problem though.
You can't hear it. You want me to tell you? You want to know why you can't hear it? Is because Zoom, the platform that we do this class through, it mutes out music.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I have it playing so I can hear it, and it just sets the mood for me.
Okay.
But Miss Linda, I don't have your registration and waiver form.
Yes, remember I emailed it to you, remember?
Oh, you emailed it to me. All right. Thank you for reminding me.
Because you sent me a thank you for receiving it.
Oh, dear Lord. I'm better than I even know I am, aren't I? Well, here's why I said that is because on my row, I put a little bitty dot beside the people who I have their registration and waiver form, and I didn't put your little bitty dot. So I just, by glance, I just said I don't have it. Well, then if I have it, then I have your address, and I can send you some music.
All right, thank you.
How much is the music?
At this, right now, I'm not going to charge you for it. If you have a CD player, I'm happy to send it.
I have a CD player also.
Okay, who is that talking?
Karen.
Karen? Okay.
Karen.
Matrice, Me too, Stella.
All right, Stella, you'll be able to use it too? Okay, very good.
Yes, please.
Well, there was a time whenever we bought this stuff and then we were gonna we used to sell it, and government is weird, y'all. So sometimes they tell us we're all about like making money and program sustainability and stuff like that. But I think we're in the free give stuff away for free phase of government. So y'all are the lucky ones.
Amen.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. That's the place I like to be. I like to give everything away for free. I don't like charging for things. Although I know it costs to do things, and I mean it costs us to buy the CDs, but whatever. Just enjoy. Just promise me you'll enjoy. Okay, let's do it one more time and then we'll cool down. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Close and close it out. Let's cool down by giving ourselves a fist massage, telling our legs, thank you for working so hard. You may find your legs be a little sore and tired from shifting weight so much in this class. Challenge yourself. If you have stretch in your pants, you know, some days I'll tell y'all, my pants don't have enough stretch to lift my knees, but today we're working with spandex. All right, so we got that good stretch.
I like spandex.
I do too.
Amen.
When I go jean shopping, I go like this. I go take the leg and I go like that. And if it doesn't have stretch, then I just flip to the next pair of jeans. All right, so lesson learned, because some of my pants don't have it. And let it go. And let it go. Gather tension and let that tension go. That is not where we want to live. Big shoulder circle. One more. To end class, we make a loose fist with our right hand. Our fingers are all together, our thumb is in, and we put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
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 Thank y'all.
Namaste.
Let me ask
Thank you.
y'all this. Do y'all also have DVD players? Because I have the DVD as well.
I do.
Thank you.
Linda, you have one?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like the DVD?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, there we go. I'll get that in the mail this afternoon. And we'll do this again next week. Let me see. Yeah, that The 18th is next week, and we'll be here. I have a farmers market training on the 25th, which is in 2 weeks. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can still have class and do my training. I'll know next week, but that's kind of a question mark. But that's just me. I do not like to cancel class if I can help it, and I always try to do too much. So I'm going to try not to cancel, but I might have to for farmers market training. But I'll let y'all know next Tuesday. We are having class next Tuesday, the 18th. It's the 25th. That's the question.
Okay.
All right. Well, y'all let me know if you have any questions in between now and then. I'm happy to help any way I can. Okay.
What did
Is
you
that
learn?
Thank you.
Is that your creative work,
Oh.
your neck piece?
Oh, y'all, if you were here on Valentine's Day, which was a Friday, so that was only Sharita. So, I took my husband's my husband's necktie and I folded it like this. Okay, so last week I was in Belk and I found this tie in the little boy section, and it is Ralph Lauren tie. And I paid $7 for it. Anyway, I did all this like back and forth folding, if y'all can kind of see that from the side. And then I wrapped it around and I safety pinned it back here in place. And then I took this old enameled like brooch pin and just pinned it on there and then put it on this old necklace.
Oh, that's cute. It gave it a feminine touch then.
Yeah.
You can learn anything on the internet, y'all. Anything.
Nobody but you, Jennifer. Nobody but you.
You just have to use it for good, because there's lots of evil out there, but just
Amen.
and do the good, because there's lots of good out there. But that's a little boy's tie. So if y'all have grandsons in your life, go steal their ties, because they're really small and cute.
All right, then. Thank you.
All right, love y'all.
Love you.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.